أيضا عن مؤسسة IDC تحدثت السيدة كراستن إيفانس المديرة التنفيذية بالمؤسسة، وكما أيضا تحدث نائب في الكونغرس الأمريكي ديفيد روت. بنشوفهم بهاللقاءين.
IDC is an American-based organization that seeks the protection and the preservation of Christians and Christian culture in the Middle East. In Defense of Christians is an ecumenical organization, so we seek to mobilize the grassroots of Middle Eastern Christians in the United States and abroad in the diaspora communities, as well as unite them to other Christian communities throughout the United States and abroad. All of which in order to give the Christian community at large a singular voice and a singular organization and mobilization to speak out to the needs and to the plight and to the situation of the Christian community in the Middle East. Unity is important, and it really is at the very core of the identity of In Defense of Christians. It's also at the core of the beginning and the origin of In Defense of Christians. Unity is important because we hear from many of the Middle Eastern Christian communities that are living in diaspora in the United States, in Europe, in other continents around the world, that singularly they don't feel that they have the numbers, that they have the expansion, or that they have even necessarily the political clout or the organization to have the kind of influence that they would like to have on world politics, on global opinion, on public opinion, on national debates in the United States. But while each one of those communities singularly might not have the weight that they feel that they need, brought together under a single umbrella, they actually form a pretty formidable and large constituency. And In Defense of Christians seeks to harness that unity in order to give each one of those individual communities a stronger and more influential voice. Our involvement in the symposium, we're very blessed and honored to be involved in the symposium, and our involvement in the symposium comes largely by the fact that we share a lot of the same core values with the other organizations that are in the symposium, and in a very specific way, the value of unity. And I would say unity in two ways: unity in bridging the gaps between Middle Eastern Christian communities and other Christian communities, but also bridging the gaps between the East and the West. So unity being such a strong value for us, it's something that resonates deeply with us in organizations such as this one. I would tell them that don't wait until American national leaders take the lead on the question of the situation in the American and international response to the plight of Christians in the Middle East. I think that this is an issue in which the American people are going to have to lead, and American policymakers and the halls of power are going to follow the American people. I would tell the Middle Eastern Christian community in the United States that you actually have a much stronger voice in this country than you realize that you do. You have more influence, you have more power, you have more numbers, you have more significance, you have more weight. And it's simply a question of organizing that voice in order for it to be heard in a more and more effective way.
Hi, I'm Congressman Dave Trott. I just want to take a minute to thank IDC for all of their great work in Washington, all of their help organizing the Caucus on Religious Minorities, all the work they're doing trying to educate members of Congress on the persecution that's occurring with Christians in the Middle East. And all of this has been done in less than a year, so it's a great deal of accomplishment, and I'm proud to have been a part of it.
خوري أسقف المونسنيور شربل المارون رئيس مجلس إدارة نورسات أمريكا تحدث عن نورسات وعن علاقتها بمنظمة الكامكت وعن أهداف المؤتمر يلي بيهدف إلى تضامن المسيحيين في الولايات المتحدة الأمريكية مسيحيي الشرق الأوسط يلي هن عم يتعرضوا اليوم إلى تحديات عديدة وإلى اضطهادات عدة.
نورسات طبعا حضورها اليوم هو مهم لأنه دور النورسات هي دور الوحدة. نورسات وحدت الكنيسة بالشرق وإلى دور كمان بالغرب عم تلعب، ونحن اليوم قاعدين على طاولة وحدة من جميع الطوائف الكاثوليكية والأرثوذكسية والمسيحيين الآخرين كمان كلهم مجموعين ومتحدين تحت اسم نورسات وكامكات والIDC وطبعا الجالية الكلدانية الموجودة هون. Those who are living in the United States should realize that Nursat is playing this great role, but it's showing also the unity of all forces, good forces that are trying to put all their efforts and all their powers to unite the Christians of the Middle East and to be their voice, to be the voice of the voiceless that are in the Middle East and to bring their situation and their problems and their issues to the light, and especially through the television, so those who are watching in the United States and hearing us worldwide may understand and know what's going on in the Middle East, but at the same time will understand that there are people here of goodwill that are willing to be united together in order to bring the faith of these people to the public. So the American audience in the United States and beyond will know what's going on in the Middle East and will see the truth that has no bias toward one direction or the other, but shows the truth that's happening there today. Nursat, working with other organizations together, we hope that unity will continue and will grow, because we all are working for the same cause in order to keep the Christians of the Middle East alive, try to bring unity among us Christians who are living in the West, but at the same time to be also the bridge that brings our message to them and their message to us and to the world, but at the same time also to be able to support them spiritually, emotionally, and financially. And so their gain is our gain, and our gain is theirs too.
مداخلة السيد جاك كلاسي مدير عام تيليلومير رئيس مجلس إدارة نورسات حملت العديد من الأبحاث والإحصاءات عن مسيحيي الشرق الأوسط وعن تحدياتهم وعن أوضاعهم، وبنبقى مع مقتطف صغير من مداخلته بهالمؤتمر.
An overall outlook, year 1900, Christians of the Middle East were 20% of the total population, meaning we were around 22 millions out of 100 million. 2015, after 1 century, 100 years, we are less than 5%. A little bit about Christianity in Syria before we go further. 1920, the Christians of Syria constituted 30% of the Syrian population. Prior to actual war, i.e. before 2011, when the war started in Syria, Christians in Syria were about 10% of the population, from 30 to 10. Meaning if the population is 20 million, Christians in Syria, 2011 were 2 million. March 2011, when pro-democracy protest erupted in Syria, many Christians were cautious and tried to avoid taking sides. Results of the Syrian conflict. About more than 3,000 Christians have been killed, 500,000 Christians displaced and exiled. Many of them fleeing to Turkey, Lebanon, where they are not welcomed in all the countries, but at least not in immediate danger of massacre. At least 85 churches have been burned to the ground, vandalized, horrible, beyond use, or bombed into rubble by Islamic militias, and entire towns have been razed, such as the town of Ma'muna. We cannot forget 22nd of April 2013, two senior clerics became caught up in a war. Bishop Yohanna Ibrahim and Bishop Urus Yazici. Faced with such carnage, it is estimated that 500,000 of Christians fled Syria. If we could resist the war of 1975 till 1990 because of the strong bond of the families, we are losing it. And the only one who can keep this is the church. Though we Christians, whatever will happen, احنا محكوم علينا. I met Pope Schnuder. He said in the Arabic word, and I will translate it, احنا اتحكم علينا. والحكم صدر من عند ربنا. قلت له شو الحكم؟ قال لي حكم علينا أحبوا أعدائكم. واحنا باللهجة المصرية حننفذ الحكم. We Christians are convicted by our Lord Jesus Christ to be loving and forgiving. We have to focus on not being weak and sticking to our land. We have to show our ancestors who lived and suffered and martyred that we will not betray their trust. We hear a lot of things. I picked up 3. We are hearing actually remapping the Ottoman Middle East, Sykes-Picot, a new one. I would like to ask one question, if this is true. How this is feasible in the face of globalization? Open borders, open markets. Tell me. We hear about creation of a Christian state to shelter all Christian refugees and those of the Middle East. This will be the biggest lie and stupidity ever proposed. Such would enhance the creation of a radical Muslim state. Promoting secularism in the Middle East. Islam do not believe in secularism. If this will happen one day, it will not happen now, it will not happen in the near future, as far as our role as Christians is demising. We are the good ones who can make it, if we are strong. No doubt, what is happening, as Dr. Stanton Gregory mentioned, what is happening to the Christians in the Middle East is a satanic work.
كان لمداخلة الدكتور غريغوري ستون المتخصص بالقضايا القانونية والحقوقية للمجازر والإبادات أهمية خاصة لأن بتوعي المسيحيين ولا سيما المهاجرين والمضطهدين إلى حقوقهم المدنية وإلى حقوقهم العالمية يلي يجب المطالبة فيها من خلال الأمم المتحدة أو من خلال القوانين الدولية. من هالمداخلة نبقى مع مقتطف صغير.
I've come to you this morning to talk about genocide. When people ask me what I do at parties or something, and I tell them that, well, I teach about genocide, it usually brings the conversation to a complete halt. It's not really what most people want to talk about. And one reason is, first of all, they don't even know what it is, but secondly, they really don't want to hear this sort of dark side of human nature that's been with us probably since the beginning of human beings. And this isn't quite like Rwanda, you know, where 800,000 Tutsis were slaughtered. I mean, after all, we only have, I remember this, we only have, this is Kosovo, 10,000 who've been killed by the Serbs in genocidal massacres as an attempt to drive them out of Kosovo. In other words, they combined genocide with what we now call ethnic cleansing, a word I hate, by the way, because it's actually forced displacement, which is a well-defined crime in international law. Actually, one of the things the State Department was afraid of during that genocide was that it would obligate us legally in some way. The truth is the convention is very weak on legal obligations. You really only have two if you're a nation that signs up to the Genocide Convention. Now over 130 nations are parties to the convention. It's become what they call conventional or customary international law. I mean, namely, it applies to all nations, even if they haven't ratified the treaty.
الجزء الثاني من المؤتمر كان له أهميته الخاصة لأنه أضاء على الأعمال التطبيقية والفعلية اللي عم تقوم فيها المنظمات العربية والمسيحية في الولايات المتحدة الأمريكية اتجاه أخوتهم المسيحيين سواء في العراق أو في أماكن أخرى. فتحدث في الجزء الثاني بعض المختصين والمسؤولين عن المنظمات المسيحية سواء تعنى بالقضايا الطبية أو تعنى بالقضايا الإنسانية، فتحدثوا عن أعمالهم في العراق. الدكتور إدمون غريب كان له مداخلة عن تاريخ المسيحيين وأهميتهم بالنهضة العربية، وبحث سوا مع المؤتمرين والمشاركين عن القضايا التي يجب أن يتمتع فيها أو تتمتع فيها الحضارتين الإسلامية والمسيحية للحفاظ على شعبها في الأرض المشرقية. المؤتمر يلي انتهت أعماله في اليوم الأول كما بدأت بصلاة ومن ثم انتهت بلقاء أخوي على لقمة المحبة، تابع باليوم التالي حتى يختتم بقداس احتفالي كبير في كنيسة أو كاتدرائية والدة الإله في مدينة ساوثفيلد، وهالكنيسة أو الكاتدرائية هي تابعة للطائفة الكلدانية. ختام المؤتمر من المؤكد كان توصيات وتقارير رفع المؤتمر إلى الجهات المعنية والمختصة، ونحن مع المؤتمر ومع أعماله ومع كل يلي شاركوا فيه نشكر الله على جهودهم، لأنه بعد في ناس عم تفكر ببعضها، في ناس بعد عم تفكر بأهلها بهالشرق وعم تفكر بالتضامن يلي يجب أن يكون ليس فقط بين المسيحيين بل بين المجتمع الإنساني ككل.